And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars. And he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with the night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on what side of the world you're in. I'm HalfLifeSistah, and this is my hubby Wolfgang.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to my channel and to another episode of Sister and the Wolf. What's poppin'?
Thank you.
We're back with another Nightwish.
Yes, we are.
Shoemaker. Finally.
Anyone who's following the news and knows what's going on, we're all, in the States, we're debating whether we're going to reopen or not. And of course, the irony being that we are not ready to reopen because our managers, aka the government, has not put any of the things in place that would allow us to reopen. Yet, they're saying we need to reopen because of the economy.
Yes.
So basically, we're squandering this time, and we're probably going to have a second outbreak. I don't want to bring anyone down. Just
let's keep it moving.
Keep doing what you know you should be doing, regardless of what the powers say.
Of course.
If they reopen your state, if your employer says that you don't need a mask or something, you know that's bullshit.
Exactly.
We've got meat plants all over America that have outbreaks, things that shouldn't be happening, but are because the managers of companies, the managers of place, even Elon Musk, they're all not being their smartest right now, guys. Go back to the smarts here.
Let's go back to smarts.
NIGHTWISH is giving us all kinds of smarts.
It is.
So we're going to continue with that. We've gone to the greatest show on earth.
Yes.
NIGHTWISH has exposed us to the creation of Earth.
Right.
And we've gone in depth into that in our 2-hour reaction. Then they got to introduce you to Carl Sagan.
Oh, man.
Now you know who Carl Sagan
I know
is.
who we be.
They showed us the great organizations that are helping to preserve our forests.
Right?
They've
Never
shown
even
us,
thought about it.
Yeah, they've introduced us to great music and that Greek style of singing that Flora was doing and music. Learning, lots and lots of learning. NIGHTWISH has become the learning channel.
Exactly. I'm excited and I'm ready.
I can tell. Might I say you look beautiful today? Absolutely ravishing.
Thank you.
Your hair is gorgeous.
Thanks, babe.
Nice and full.
It's shrinking though,
I don't know what that means.
When I started, you know what it means. When I started before it sat down, it was like here, and now it's a nice little poofy.
Why does shrinking matter if it's so big?
Okay, it doesn't matter.
I don't understand.
But I'm glad you like it.
It looks amazing.
Thanks, babe.
That's all that matters.
Thank you.
And plus, if you didn't tell anyone it's shrinking, they would assume that that's the right size.
Well, that is true too.
All right.
That's true too. Moving forward, not sideways, baby. Shoemaker.
You ready to learn something new?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm going to give you the story of Shoemaker.
Now, does he actually make shoes? Just yes or no? I'm sorry. Because I'm like, why would they make a song about a person making shoes? I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm interested to know what the depths of this song, though. So go ahead and read it. To me.
Okay, you had me worried for a second.
I'm joking.
Okay, now Eugene Shoemaker is his name. That's what the song is about. We're going to learn about his situation.
Thanks to our soldiers in the comments.
Oh, so you've already seen a little bit of what it's about?
I can't. Some of the comments I can't read because it's too many words, but I do get around to them as soon as I can.
Man, you're just full of bits today, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
All right, well, Eugene Shoemaker. Okay. You sure you got any more bits before we start?
That's it. I'm good.
I'm debating whether I should do like my best Neil deGrasse Tyson. I know I can't do his deep, bassy voice, but I'm wondering if I can maybe do his inflection
I don't think so.
When I'm trying to teach. So that people can understand the beauty and majesty of the universe.
You have to use
well, I always use my hands.
You're doing good.
I'm all about hands.
Good job.
But Eugene Shoemaker. He was a geologist and the founder of planetary science.
I'm finding you sexy right now. Sexy.
Oh, this is working for you.
Ooh. Yes.
Which is the study of planets, moons, and processes that form them.
Ooh. I like that.
I'm going to try to do this without laughing. Okay. He was born April 28th.
April 28th.
1928.
Okay.
Shoemaker began his career as a geologist, helping the United States Geological Survey study impact craters. In the 60s, he became a major proponent of the hypothesis that an asteroid impact killed the dinosaurs.
Okay. So he made all this up. Okay.
Did you say make this up?
I'm joking. Keep moving.
So you're not done with your bits.
I'm listening.
Okay. He did this by confirming Daniel Barringer's hypothesis back in 1908.
And what was that?
The hypothesis that, in fact, an asteroid hit the Earth, changing the environment.
It did.
And causing the mass extinction of the dinosaurs. As well as of the life. But life goes on.
It does.
Shoemaker would go on to join a team that began mapping the moon, cementing his status as the founder of astrogeology.
So cool. Okay,
let's talk about a little bit astrogeology. Because we know geology.
How in that time, how were they able to?
Well, remember, when an asteroid hits the surface of the Earth, it leaves the minerals.
It does.
It leaves the evidence behind.
It does.
So what Shoemaker did is he found that evidence, similar to Barringer. Again, Barringer being a miner at the time, this was a mining site.
Gotcha.
So they recovered a lot of this mineral.
That's interesting.
Way back then. Actually, even back in the 1800s, they were collecting minerals from this site. So geology is something our daughter loves very much.
Loves it a lot.
She loves precious gems.
She's always
even not so precious gems. She just loves beautiful rocks. She's got a thing for rocks, guys. She really does. So did Shoemaker. And he loved the stars. Put them together, you got astrogeology.
Okay.
Makes sense? Makes sense.
Yeah, I get it now.
He later began a relationship with NASA, training astronauts, and along with his wife, Carolyn, they discovered more comets, asteroids, than almost anyone else.
They're special. They
are very passionate people when it comes to this. The most notable being the Shoemaker-Levy 9 comet, which crashed into Jupiter in 1994.
Really?
We are now tracking asteroids. We actually had a giant asteroid pass us by not a week ago. A planet killer.
No one even
just passed us by.
A planet killer?
Yes. Luckily, it understood social distancing and it kept away.
Baby, that's a good one. High five.
You know,
that was a good one.
I feel so dirty. So tracking asteroids is a very essential part
and it's more
of our survival.
Yes, but we can't.
Far more important than some of the shit we do.
Why does it matter if we can crack it? We can't stop it from coming.
That's the point. We should be putting our efforts into things that could end life on Earth. But of course, we can just as easily end life on Earth with our nuclear warheads. We are on the teetering. There's a reason why we're less than 2 minutes to midnight. We are on the teetering, bleeding edge of insanity. And the only way we deal with it is we pretend it doesn't exist.
That's exactly what we're doing.
This is why sometimes I say if you really let reality sink in, like really let it sink in, you can become a little insane. So I can't blame people for perhaps ignoring some of this stuff that is out of their control. But at some point, we do have to, as a collective, refocus and really get our shit together. And it's why our likelihood of success is probably pretty low. Anyway, once again, sidetracked, and I apologize.
Don't apologize. This is Nightwish and this is Shoemaker. It's all their fault.
We're here to learn, right, guys?
Yes, of course. Our core audience, our fans, they know how we do it here.
So for all his achievements, and I'm gonna get a little serious now. So
Okay.
enough with the Neil voice.
Okay.
But for all his achievements, however, there was one thing he could never do.
And what's that?
Having spent much of his career studying the moon, he dreamt of one day going there himself. When the possibility of a lunar landing began to look realistic,
Okay.
Shoemaker applied to be an astronaut,
Okay.
but was declined.
How could they decline him?
He had Addison's disease. That's a disease that affects your adrenal glands.
Ooh.
So unfortunately, he didn't
Oh
qualify.
my God, that hurts.
Otherwise,
That-
he would have went 100%.
That hurts. Wow.
It does, indeed, especially when he was quoted as saying, "Not going to the moon
Oh, don't do this to me.
and banging on it with my hammer, with his own hammer,
Okay.
was the biggest disappointment of his life."
Oh my God.
I know. And you can just see that because the geologist
Well,
and his hammer,
yes.
it's just a beautiful thing.
Oh.
The amount of hours they put away into looking for fossils and things like that, he just wanted to go up there and just bang that moon with his
that's-
hammer. So, on July 18th, 1997,
What happened?
while performing research in Alice Springs, Australia,
Uh-huh.
he and his wife were involved in a car accident. His wife, Carolyn, would survive, but unfortunately, he passed away at 69. So, he did a lot. He did a lot for science, he did a lot for the world, but unfortunately for him, his own personal heart, he never did make it to the moon while he was alive.
You know, do you recall hearing about him when you were younger? Because I don't remember hearing about him or reading about him or learning about him when I was in school. But a lot of things that
No, most of the stuff I know I never learned in school. Most of the stuff is because I
You're a seeker
crave
of knowledge, though. You're the kind of person.
later in life. When I was in my younger years, I did everything I could not to be in school. But once I was out of school and I was able to learn in my own way, the way I wanted to, I noticed that I had a deep passion for reality. And part of reality is the universe and understanding it and our place in it. So knowing full well what Shoemaker wanted, which is to go to the moon, a student of his made a plan to put an ounce of his ashes into a NASA research probe designed to crash into the moon. So it was designed for 1 year to go around and study, and then they were going to intentionally crash it into the moon.
Really?
His ashes were placed in a special polycarbonate urn built by a company that put the creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry. He was shot into space after he died in honor of his legacy of Star Trek.
Yes.
So the same company that built that, built his urn. They put an ounce of his ashes into it. They put a picture of the Barringer crater, which is the crater that he was famous for. That was the meteor crater. And then the quote from Romeo and Juliet that you read earlier.
Oh, that's okay.
That's why I asked you to read it and do that voiceover.
Gotcha.
And I know you read it.
Wow, this is really putting it into context now. I didn't understand.
You see the connection, right? So he is to this day the only man buried on the moon. Now, does that mean anything for Shoemaker himself? As atheists, it doesn't. What it does mean, though, is for everything we do to celebrate someone's death or life and memory is obviously for the living. So they indirectly helped him reach his dreams. He doesn't know it, but it does bring some special meaning to the people left behind, mainly his wife, Carolyn. Carolyn said, as a matter of fact, that this is so important to us. It brings a little closure in a way to our feelings. We will always know when we look at the moon that Gene is there. And that's what that's about. So in that sense, for his wife, I think that was a very sweet thing that they did, and a way to honor his memory. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And that's why that quote that you read, you didn't really understand why you were reading it. But now when I read it to you,
I may have to read it over. I may have to read it over.
Well, if you want to redo the voiceover, you can. But the point is that when you read it now, and when he shall die,
yes,
take him
and cut him out in little stars.
Yeah.
And he will make the face of heaven so fine.
Stop there. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out into little stars.
Yeah.
And he will make the face of heaven so fine.
The molecules that comprise our body are traceable to the crucibles of the centers of stars that manufactured these elements from lighter versions of themselves and then exploded, scattering this enrichment across the galaxy into gas clouds that would later collapse to form next generation star systems. One of those star systems was ours. These atoms and molecules are in us because, in fact, the universe is in us. And we are not only figuratively, but literally stardust.
And that's why they chose that quote, which is now, as you see, in a completely different context.
Wow, yes.
Yeah. So with that information, we will now experience Shoemaker. I'm glad that you all are here to experience it with us.
Yes.
We love you all. Let's go ahead and start.
I love you. You're the best.
Now you've been tucked in for eternal lies and wonder. A sailor through waves, story of her howling at the earth. Yours is the whole graveyard of fathoms, the ship that sailed home. You're with us, face of the night, singing through the mournful night. I want to sing with you. Your home now outward touches with every dreaming creature. We want to come with you.
Here I came to be. You're reaching to the far on the stellar sea, but in little stars.
We all wait the tonight beauty which is worth the hunting. We've come to join you. Hope revive for a lifetime to rekindle the human spark in love of the night. Now you've been tucked in for eternal earth, eyes and wonder. A sailor through
You know.
Very orchestral.
And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with the night and pay no worship to the garish sun.
Oh my. Sounds so beautiful. Oh, that was a gorgeous ending. That was so cinematic. That was so... Yeah, that was so soundtracky. That was lovely. My God, Floor sounded like an absolute angel.
Yes!
It was just pure operatic bliss. At the end there. What was she saying at the end there? We need to Google Translate that. She just kept repeating it. Sounded Italian.
Wow.
Yeah, it started out nice, you know, but it sounded like similar to the other song. And then it hits you with that second half, man.
What floor?
So yeah, Ad Astra, there's definitely, you know, significant sections to these songs where it takes a turn and becomes very symphonic and very orchestral and very, thank you. Soon as she started kicking in with that sweet high,
I'm
it
my God!
it hits you. It
It
hits you
is
quick.
so beautiful, yes.
Yeah. That hit me the same way it hit when I first heard her in Ghost Love Score.
Gotcha.
When I first heard her do that chorus, and I could not believe that someone could make it sound that beautiful.
Oh yes, it really felt like.
This made me
I mean,
feel similar to that in the sense that I cannot believe how beautiful this sounds right now.
yes.
Oh my! My only regret, my only criticism is that it ended.
It was too short. Yes, it ended.
Yeah, I
too-
wanted.
In a way, I'm glad it did though. I thought I was going to
Yeah,
explode.
yeah,
I was going to
yeah.
implode.
I have to mute you when you're trying to catch your breath there, but don't worry about that. I can always mute you in post. Let your breath go.
Holy crap! That is it resting with you right now? Because it's still resting with me. It's still resting within me.
It's
I'm not
haunting.
over that. Yes,
It's
it is
haunting.
very much so. I'm not over it. I'm not.
And if I put my little thinking cap on, and I think about, so if the song is dedicated to Shoemaker, I have to believe that ending is Shoemaker in his final resting place.
Well, yeah.
And
that's what I thought.
And
of it
what I
as.
envision when I hear her repeating that haunting line, which we need to Google,
God.
is him resting on the moon, and the moon just kind of.
Yes, that was him. He was essentially, It's like as if he was the moon, you know? That was definitely his resting place, and he was a part of the moon.
This was a lovely experience.
It was.
Definitely worth the build-up.
It was.
God, I wish it wasn't so short.
It was too short, Nightwish.
But that's always a good thing. Leave them wanting more.
I want more.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this, though. I think we
don't
covered
know.
everything at the
You
beginning.
did a really good job. Thank you so much.
Did you have any questions, by the way, on anything
You
we covered?
covered a lot. You
Okay.
gave me a lot to think about and to actually research for myself.
Okay.
Get more information. You did a good job, baby. Thank you. You're awesome.
I aim to please.
I'm so pleased. Okay.
I like the sound of that.
I don't know. I mean,
There's nothing else to say,
there's
guys.
nothing
We
more.
did all the
You
talking
guys
up
know.
front.
You guys know. I mean, Flora's voice.
You guys know. There's really nothing left to be said.
It's just
You
there's
heard it.
something about the
guys
cadence
heard
in
it.
her voice.
That's it.
You know your favorite word.
Oh wait.
Cadence.
No. We were gonna Google what she was saying.
Oh yes, please let's do that.
Okay, so I Google translated it, and it is in fact Latin. Laudato. Am I pronouncing that right? Laudato
Laudato.
is praised, and C is and ad astra is obviously to the stars. So when you put them together, Laudato si ad astra, all praise be to the stars, or if I'm probably guessing correctly and screwing it up, is all praise to the stars. Yeah, all praise to the stars. We've got a Q&A.
We do.
Or you want to set up a Q&A. So in on your social medias and in the community section
Instagram, I
of
posted
YouTube.
on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as our community.
There's anything you guys want to know?
Ask away, baby. Ask as
away.
many questions
Nothing's
you
off
want.
limits.
Nothing really. Yeah, we'll decide if it's too racy or what have you.
And even then,
And even then, you know, I'm very
we can tend to be pretty inappropriate
Yeah, I'm very inappropriate. I'm an overshare.
when cameras are not on us. So
Horrible. So yes, ask away, my love, please. Okay, it's
That
gonna
way
be
we
fun.
don't
Let's make
miss
it
your
fun.
comments.
Give me some good, fun, juicy questions. Okay.
do what you got.
Yeah. Okay, baby. Listen, you've talked enough.
I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good. This
good
was a great
too.
experience. Great
It
song.
was. It was. Thank you guys so much. What's next though?
Yes, we will do more. We will finish the album.
And more best of Zanga.
But I do have a lot of other reactions I have to edit. So guys, don't be mad just because something's being posted and it's not Nightwish.
I know they're there. Don't give us a thumbs down for that. Now you gotta love us through it all. Love us anyway.
I don't know if that's happening.
I know. All right, my loves. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up. I'm so extra. Comment below, baby. All right. Do not leave without subscribing, but also do share our content as well.
And as always.
As always, I love it, babe. Keep it metal forever, baby. I love you guys. Thank you for loving us. Stay safe. Bye for now.
Yeah, guys. Love y'all.
Love you, Danielle.
My husband was a geologist. He started out with a big interest in geology when he was just a kid. He looked up and saw the moon and he said, "Man's going to go to the moon someday and I want to be the one to go."
1, 0.
A lunar prospector flew to the moon with Gene's ashes on them. It crashed into the south pole of the moon and Gene's ashes were with it. And now Gene is on the moon. And when I look up there at the moon, I say, "Hi, Gene. Are you having a good time running around?" Gene is the only person on the moon, the only person with ashes on the moon.
Moons and processes that
See, Neil, he can read.